You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building today.
Anderson .Paak.
Anderson .Paak.
Listen,
yes, Lord.
I can't front, brother. I slept on you. Somebody recommended you to me early this year, and I never listened. But a few months ago, I listened to Malibu, and I'm like, this kid got it.
What's your favorite track?
I don't really know him by name. I know the rhythms when I ham. I don't know if I know him by name per se.
We like
beatboxing.
Yeah, beatbox your favorite one.
We like the first
I
song.
definitely
I like
can't
the song with Schoolboy.
I definitely can't beatbox.
I like the song
it.
with Schoolboy Q.
Okay.
You got your Rhapsody I like.
Yeah.
And of course,
Without
the song I
You.
told you, Sonye, our girl Sonye's on there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you guys killed it also.
Yeah.
No,
You got like 3 tracks produced by Knife One that I like on there.
Yeah, Without You and Season Carry Me.
Okay.
Yeah. Ninth Lace Me.
Now, you signed to Dr. Dre or?
Signed to Dr. Dre.
Oh, you signed to Dr. Dre?
Yes. But Malibu was actually put out through OBE, Art Club, Stillwell. It's like an independent little combination of things.
Now, I know you wrote a lot for Dr. Dre, but Dr. Dre really doesn't have that many artists anymore. So you're kind of...
Don't. It's an interest. That's why I like it. It's a good time right now, you know?
And wasn't it when they presented your music to Dre, somebody said, Dre's not signing no artists.
Yeah, they what's his name? The lawyer. Peter. Yeah. I mean, he was just kind of like, good luck,
Good luck.
Yeah, like he was like, you could play it for him or I'll try to play it, but he's not interested right now. And that's how I felt too. I always thought it was so far fetched.
So he
even
did play.
working
He
with
did
him.
play it for him.
I suppose. I think
And
a lot
that's
of
how it
people
happened?
tried to play it for him. I think F. Gary Gray tried to play him some stuff, but honestly, like you could play stuff for people, but sometimes in the case of me, a lot of times people don't really get it. A lot of times until I'm in the studio with them,
Right.
and they see it kind of unfold, and then they really become believers at that point. And that's what happened with him. People tried to play him different things, but then when I got in the studio with them and they played the track, like they played the song Suede for him, he was really into it. He played it a few times. But when I got on that mic and started doing my thing and writing with him, he was like, oh yeah, this thing. And we was just always writing after that.
Let's talk about the...
I was gonna say, why that route? Because he's so far from music now. He's headphone guy.
Yeah.
He's so many different other businesses that I would kind of be scared that maybe I'd be lost in the sauce.
I think he's one of the few people that is actually very close to the music still. He doesn't care about anything else. He doesn't care about none of this shit, or like, Instagram or anything like that. He just really likes to be in the studio still, on the board, making music. Whether it comes out or doesn't come out, he just really, he really is, to see someone that successful and make that much money, he really just is a studio rat still.
It was one of the first things you said, okay, I want to make sure my album comes out though, so we got to put this.
I mean, it's one thing to say it, but you got to negotiate that and put that in writing. What did Jim Jones say? You don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate.
Right.
And that was a big part of it, but it was just divine, because the biggest thing that happened was, I would have never thought Dre put his record out before I put a record out, So it was just like all timing was great, because he was ready to move. He put his record out, and then after working with him, I jumped right in with working with Game, and he was, excited about his, and it was just like going from like boot camp to boot camp. And then I still had to put out another independent record with my label. And so it was just perfect. And
You was on like 6 songs on Compton, right?
Yeah. So the momentum was great, and having that momentum and then having that access after working with Dre to be able to, like Knife Wonder, High Tech, Madlib, like everybody I want to work with, it was like I had a better vision too of what I needed to do after working with people like Dre and Game.
But I feel like we speeding a little bit, man. Let's talk about this process. It took you 13 years to get on, from what I read.
Right. And I'm only 21 years old, so it's kind of crazy, bro.
But you did
You've been
say,
rapping since 6.
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
you did
so
say at
long?
one point you wanted to give up and not even.
Hell
want
yeah.
anymore.
I'll be ready to give up. I was ready to give up this morning.
Why'd you want to give up?
Because I didn't sleep. I was up all night. And I was like, damn, I got to come. They're going to be grilling me. They're going to ask me some crazy shit about Dre. There was a couple times, man. It was just taking forever. And I was watching everybody else just, like Hov has a line where he's like, he talks about it's like 92, 93, and like Snoop and Dre and all them are popping, and he's literally still slinging dope, and that's how I was feeling watching.
Illmatic pop in the West, had it locked. Yeah.
Yep. That's how I felt. But I had a family. I had a kid. I got a son and a wife, and I was literally going couch surfing with my fam. And I was just had no direction. And I was watching everybody pop off, Cole, Drake, Kendrick, and all these people were the same age as me. And
You can't watch other people's journey though.
but I ain't had shit else to do.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was doing. I was watching episodes of The Breakfast Club. That's all I did, I was just watching. And if I wasn't watching, I was just working on my music and working on my craft. I had nothing else to do.
So your wife
Nobody
really
wanted to f with me. Nobody wanted to hear to me.
Now, which wife was this? Because I find it interesting.
This is the one that matters.
That you had a couple of wives.
Fiance, ne, chagia.
I started speaking in tongue just now.
That's right. They know what it is. Annyeonghaseyo. All my Korean people out there.
You've been married twice.
I have,
You're
man.
young to be married twice.
I'm a lover boy. Blame it on my mama.
Oh, okay.
She been married.
Oh, she's been married a lot of
She
times.
got a handful. I mean, you only get a couple of good marriages, so you might as well.
Get a couple of good marriages.
Might as well have fun.
Now, you were homeless at one point too, right?
I was, bruh. I was homeless, couch surfing. Thank God for people like, the homies from Sarah and Shafiq Hussein, and just the homies that really just took me in and was like, "You talented, bro. Just you can stay here. You can work with us. You can do this, that. I trim weed. I did it, whatever I could.
It takes a lot of balls to have a child
Didn't
to
you
be
sell
married and
weed?
still rap.
But see, I like.
Tell that to my wife. She the one that came from Korea, didn't speak no English. She was really she got the ball. Like, no, not. I mean,
How did
You
you
gotta
meet her?
define. You gotta
Really,
define
right.
homeless though, because a lot of people be saying
Right.
they homeless.
Right.
But
You
they
know
be
what?
staying at a friend's house.
you know what? I don't feel like I was ever without a home, I was exactly like you said, like with me, there was never a time where I felt like I couldn't go somewhere, and I got siblings. I got 2 older sisters, and honestly, I lived with them, with my sister, and when one sister kicked me out, I moved with the other one, and then when she kicked me out, I run out of money, I moved with the homie, and then, it was just, I always had somewhere to go.
You weren't on the street homeless.
It was a couple of times where it was in between places, and the homie was, he had
You're
his
like,
spot.
you and your wife and your kid got to get
and
out.
the other
man.
homie, I remember one time the homie that was really helped me out, Shafiq, was like, "Yo, my spot about to get foreclosed, so you could stay here until
They
sheriff
lock the
come,
door.
and then we gotta go. You gotta help
So
me,
you were
Pat."
squatting.
Yeah, that's
You a
it.
squatter.
I would go one spot to another until I finally got a little bit of change, and I got on tour, and then I was able to,
Now, how did you meet your wife? You said she's Korean. She didn't speak any
Which
English.
one?
The one that matters, as he
Okay.
says.
Yeah. I met her in music school. She was she came in from Korea, and I went to this school where it was kind of like a ITT Tech for musicians. So it was like a trade school where they teach you if you don't really until you get popping, you got to make some money. And I didn't want to go and get a job, work at Rouse or whatever, so I just was like, okay, I play drums. I've been playing drums in the church for years, so I at least can read music and I can be a session player. So I went and I went to that school. I got into the school, and I had to drop because I couldn't afford it. I couldn't get nobody would give me a loan, and I couldn't get no financial aid, so I had to drop like within weeks. But then they were like, "You good? You know how to play, so we're gonna hire you as a TA." And that's how I met my wife, because she was in the vocal class, and all the Asians wanted to know the black shit, so they would go on all the gospel classes and the blues classes and all that shit. So I was a part of the gospel band, and I was surrounded by the Asians.
How did you afford to go to school, but you was homeless?
So I couldn't. So I got
a TA.
Yeah, I was a
he
TA.
said.
So they was paying me
What
to
does
be
that
there.
mean?
Teaching assistant.
Teacher assistant.
Okay.
Yeah, so they was actually paying me to be there. So that was my only job, and I was
How
at
the
this.
hell they hiring homeless people to be teachers assistants?
So
You
I-
ain't no
He
He
background
could,
check.
I
read
was-
music already.
Yeah,
He could
yeah.
read
This is
music.
This was this was when I first moved to LA. I'm from Ventura County, Oxnard, and I moved out to LA, and I was like pursuing the music thing, and I was staying with a bunch of people. At this point, this is before I had a kid. This is when I first meet my wife now, but it was just the homie at this time.
Gotcha.
And I was
Just
staying
smashing.
with. She was holding me down, in every way. But she didn't speak a lick of English. She was just like, "Come through," Got the food ready.
How do you approach somebody?
Oh, I want him to answer a question. I still want to know how you afforded to go to school.
So I couldn't afford it.
He said he was.
I had to drop, and then they said, "Look, we're gonna hire you. You talented. We're gonna hire you and give you a job."
He said it 3
Charlamagne
times.
don't
He was
be
a
listening.
teaching
It's
assistant.
okay. No,
he got paid to be there.
So then they started-
I want him to answer it. Let him
He
answer
said
it.
it 3 times.
I didn't hear him.
So then I hired me, and I was working there. I was on the payroll. So then I was just going to school, getting paid, meeting everybody, and eventually I put a baby in.
And my question was, how did you become a teacher's assistant?
Well, it's a TA.
He was
but-
homeless. Like what?
He just
He said
explained it, man.
he said he was going to school there.
I was
He
going
couldn't
to school.
afford it. He
I had
dropped
to
out
drop-
because he could read notes. They let him be a teacher.
I was a
so
Okay,
he got
Anderson
paid.
Yee. Jesus Christ.
He
I
said
dropped
it
out.
5 times, Charlamagne.
Jesus
He keeps on saying the same thing.
Goodness
Oh, yeah.
gracious. So how'd you get into school?
I must have missed that part.
He said
Now-
you heard it right, Emmy?
Now,
Yes.
now your
That's crazy.
father went to prison for beating your mom?
Yeah. He got caught up on, in the drugs and alcohol. And, he just, things got a hold of him. And that was the time I ever saw him. I was like 7 years old, and he was just all messed up on it. And, he was just out in the street with my mom's. And my mom's coming home from work one day, and he just tackled her in the street.
Really?
For
And
what?
we just heard her screaming. I think it was just he had a lot of issues, and I think there was a lot going on. I was only 7 years old,
And you haven't seen him since?
he
no,
passed
well,
away?
he passed away when I was in my maybe 23 or something.
So he died in jail.
Yeah, no, he got out. He did about 14 years and got out, and then he started calling me, and we started kind of building a connection and talking. But he was really trying to reach me and wanted me to come and visit him and stuff. And I put it off for a while. And I remember he would leave messages and messages. And I didn't know he was dying, but he knew he was dying. He had cancer, and now I understand why he was so adamant about trying to like build that relationship with me. And I was kind of a little bitter, and now I feel kind of because it would have been nice to talk to him.
Oh, so you never really forgave him?
I forgave him, but I never got to really talk to him.
Like see him in
Sometimes,
prison again.
yeah. Sometimes it'd just be nice to
Oh,
hear.
your
it.
father went to prison?
He went to prison for
I'm just messing with you.
This guy's crazy. This guy's crazy, man.
Now, your mom went to prison too, though.
She did. My mom. So I got a step pops. My pops went to prison. I had a step pops. My mom was right at it. And he was pretty much around all the way till I got into high school. But when I got in the senior year of high school, both my mom and my step pops got put into prison.
And it's interesting that your mom sold strawberries?
Yeah, she had her own strawberry business, and Oxnard is produce. It's like the beach and produce, strawberries, all kinds of. You can grow whatever.
Marijuana. You grew marijuana, right?
Yeah.
So
But how do you go to prison for selling strawberries?
Well, no, she didn't go to prison for selling strawberries. It was a bunch of tax things, and I think it called illegally moving
Money
securities.
laundering, tax evasion.
Yeah, they were trying. I feel like they were trying to make an example of her in the county
She
we
was
was
doing
in.
that well? Like they were really...
She was doing a lot of things. She just wasn't notifying the government, and she was making a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
And
they will come get
she
you.
was trying to, she was just trying to make a way. It was like she was supporting my sisters and me and my little sister, and we had this whole. We was living it.
You
know?
probably hate strawberries now.
Man, I wish I could say that, man. I still really do like it. Yeah.
Well, what's interesting is that even you being at home and having, both of your parents go to jail, you still turn to music for everything instead of turning to something else.
Yeah. I had an outlet. That's it. That was it. It saved my life. Like I had something to do and something I was really obsessed about. I didn't care about anything else. Like all this stuff was happening around me. My parents got put down and all this stuff, and I tried to work different jobs, and I bounced around different things like that, but I couldn't stop making music. I always do that. Like,
did it affect your siblings in a different type of way?
Yeah, absolutely. My little sister was, my little sister's 2 years old, or 2 years younger than me, and she was, I know it affected her. It was just a lot to take, and just having it's just like having the ground just swept up under you. We was really spoiled kids, and we had everything we wanted.
Because of strawberries?
Yeah, my mom not only did that, but she was a really good gambler, and she still loved to gamble. So she would go to Vegas. We damn near grew up in Vegas, and we would get everything comped, and we'd go out and just, my mom would be out on the slots and just boom, just like.
Now, she used to grow the strawberries herself?
Nah, she had invested into some property and some land.
Okay.
And what happened was she got in over her head, and she couldn't pay people back and filed for bankruptcy and wasn't notifying the government. And one thing led to another, and they built a case against her.
But prior to that, how was she making money off the strawberries?
She was delivering. She was independently delivering to different restaurants within the area.
Got you.
And she was, one of the few distributors in the area.
Everybody love fresh strawberries, boy.
Yeah. And she had it going. And then she moved on and started getting investors, and then eventually got her own fields, and boom.
And then you got married at a really early age.
Yeah.
Right, the first time.
Yeah.
How long did that last?
Like a blink.
Hey.
Well, I mean, as soon as I did it, I knew. I mean, it was just like, I grew up in the church, and like, we both grew up in the church, and every time time we humped, we was like, we going to hell, like, we going straight to hell. We was like, even if we were just like, well, let's just try to just head, and then no, we still going to hell, and like, so I was like, let's get married so we be legit,
okay,
and
right.
we do all the free, yeah. And I mean, it was a good sound. It seemed like a good idea, and it just backfired. But the thing is, what helped, what the great thing about that was, she was a really good singer, and she really gave me a lot of confidence and boost to get back into music and really be like, you should sing, you should mess with that a little more.
That's great. So she had her purpose.
Yeah, absolutely,
in a way, 'cause
everything.
People come into
There's
your
no
life
mistakes.
for a different reason.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you owe her anything?
Say it again.
You feel like you owe her anything? Like,
No.
being that she does music and you're in a position to maybe help her out now, would you do that?
Nah.
He said, nah.
my
I don't
second
think
wife
she
would
wants
kill
to
me.
see me. No, I mean, I think
So you left her.
I did.
It was pretty bad. Then, huh?
Breezy Lovejoy, how could you?
I know. She I remember she was like, it's either me or music, or you. She seen me getting really, really into it, and she didn't like that.
After
when
she
you have,
encouraged you.
yeah, when people try to encourage you, but then they try to compete. Sometimes, your significant other wants to compete with what you're chasing, and it takes a lot of balls, a lot of respect, and to be able to, because it's like seasons. Kobe and Jordan, when they're being the greatest, they probably couldn't be the greatest dad or the greatest husband at the time when they scoring 40, 60 points a game. They just focusing on that, being the greatest basketball player. And now he's retired. I'm pretty sure you're like, damn, what's that meme where he's like, so what y'all like to do? Like, that's where it's at now. And now he gets all that time, but he was building something, and now he can just chill and do that. So that's what I'm doing now. This is really what I feel like I'm the best at right now, is making music and wanting to make music, and now it's really happening, and I feel like I'm gotta really execute at this point.
But
And
you're married with a family now, so does that music still take away from the focus of family?
no, I feel like music is has these things that I've gotten, like my family, my wife, my son, have all been like I don't know if it's byproducts or whatever of my passion for music. I feel like
You also have a lot of different influences in music as far as the type of music that you listen to. How would you categorize your music? Because I listen to it and I hear a lot of different, like,
Sometimes it's a little poppy. Sometimes it's worldly.
sometimes it's jazz.
Sometimes a little jazz.
yeah.
Sometimes a little punkish.
Yeah, I think it's just, I think it's range and dynamic, maybe genreless, or if anything. But I think that's for people to, put it in their own little box, I even sometimes think it's, gospel, like I think it's just a feeling, if anything. It's the people I really look up to, especially in hip hop, were people that they were MCs, but their music met funk and met rock and met
Like
jazz. Like Andre 3000, like Kanye West, like Pharrell, these were all people that were coming out and were big influences me when I was still able to be a fan of music. And these were people that someone like Hove would draw inspiration from. I could see that when he worked with Pharrell, he loved the fact that Pharrell could be a skater in punk rock and still give him these raw, hip hop beats and stuff like that. So I love that, and that was what I was inspired by.
Do you feel comfortable around other MCs because you're so left? Like, you're not, like, we just named so many different styles of music, from pop to world to this to that. But then you do the XXL cover and you're sitting next to artists don't necessarily look like you or sound like you or have the same vibe as you.
No, I don't feel, not XXL. I was a little more sometimes uncomfortable when I was in the studio with like people like The Game, and there's just like 50 gangbangers, and I'm like, I'm worried, like when I'm worried, not to say, but when you do sessions like that, and then you in with these kids, like I'm 10, 11 years older than some of these kids, and it's like, I'm not.
Did you connect with anybody from the cover, particularly out of all of them? That you're like, okay,
Lil
I'm-
Dicky was really cool because I mean, you know, we're kind of like around the same age and we're just kind of real fascinated. I have like it's like I'm fascinated by the younger, you know, generation of hip hop.
How does it feel to be
Why
a
you keep saying
freshman?
younger generation like you super old, man?
I mean, I feel like it when I hear some of it. I feel like one of them old niggas when I used to play shit and it was like, what the f is that? You know, sometimes, you know, like I really feel like, oh, I don't get it, you know, like, but
He said, "I don't get
But
it."
you know what? I've learned that there's nothing wrong with not getting it
yeah,
because it's everything ain't for everybody.
exactly.
Like if I hear Lil Yachty, I'm not posted like Lil Yachty the way
Exactly.
an 18-year-old kid likes Lil Yachty.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but I'm intrigued, you know. I'm
Yeah.
like, I just, that's just naturally how I am. And I feel like that's what brings the best out of you is being in these different environments. So
Right.
whether it's like being in with Lil Yachty or being with Schoolboy Q or being with like, you know, some punk rock group or anything like that, it's just, I'm trying to figure it out. I love that part. It's like, whoa.
Now you sold weed legally and illegally, right?
Yeah. I think it was always illegally.
It was even because I read something you was trimming it and
Yeah. We was trimming and I was bagging it up, and we was kind of like the little grunt workers. And,
Yeah, the
You
and
got
Cartel.
fired from an illegal job?
fired on my day off. No, I was like, it was, you know what it was? It was the well ran dry, and they didn't have no more work for us, and you know that was pretty much it. But when it was popping, it was popping.
like
And
what?
it was-
What you mean? Like
I just mean that.
how much money a week?
I think I was making like, and it was a lot for me at the time, but it was like 5-6 G's
It's a nice
every
hon-
few days.
Nice
Oh,
honest
that's
money.
not bad.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
And it was me and my boy Jose, and we were it was it was maybe about 10 or 12, but we split it, you know, and because we was moving it around, blah blah, and it was all profit.
So it was out of a grow house or a real trap house? Or what?
Nah, it was
He's trying to get you to tell a lot right now.
yeah. It was we
That's
had,
Clearly he's told a lot if I know. Jesus Christ.
yeah. Nah, it was we was in it. It was damn near a trap house pretty much, but we was the only ones stupid enough to be in there and with all the product. And there was like, these niggas will
On
go in there and
Instagram,
do
like,
it.
hey.
Never on. It was I don't even think Instagram was popping yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was still So we was just in there trimming in. We was like, man, this we taking all the riskless. Get a little bit, you know. So
So y'all stealing. Ah, you was stealing the product and then selling a little bit on the side.
Absolutely.
Okay.
what we supposed to do?
Now, how far along are you on your project that's going to be coming out under Dr. Dre?
I got a bunch of tracks, bunch of demos. I got a bunch of stuff that I never put out that I thought was gonna go on Malibu. I just always creating. I like to be in the studio every few days. So I don't know. I don't think it is really gonna start though until I get in with the good doctor, you know. And we do about a good few months and really get to the nitty gritty of it. But I'm excited for that because I haven't been able to really get in. I've been on the road since February
Right.
for Malibu, which has been a blessing.
Do you go in with your band in the studio, the Free Nationals?
Yep. I go on with them, you know, and now we got a budget for the first time ever, so we gonna go travel and do shit. You know, we never had a budget to do an album, so I wanna go out with the band with the Free Nationals, maybe go to Hawaii or come out here, do a bunch of sessions and
Oh, I
have
got a
fun.
place for you to record. How does that feel though, right? Being that you came up with them, you know, through the dirt, and now you like winning.
It's nothing better than that. You still kick it with the same people?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nothing better than that. It's really like, I love that. Like, we playing big ass festivals when these are the same people I played with, and it would be like this many people in there, and they wouldn't even be paying attention to us, and they'd be talking over us, or we'd be playing for staff, or we get an opportunity to open up for some, and we clear the room as soon as we start playing. Like, for a long ass time, did not with it, and then now I'm with the same, and we're playing these huge festivals, and I was like, I don't know, it's nothing better than that.
Do
Like
you
this,
want
that's my family.
Do you want to get bigger? Cause you're in a good space
I want to
right
get
now.
better. I just want to get better at writing.
Yeah.
I want to get better at playing. I want to get my show to get better. I want that. I just want to be hungry, you know, and still be like really hungry at it. And if that means bigger crowds and bigger checks, then so be it.
Now, what does the tattoo on your arm stand for? All the doves.
This is 24 doves. I was 24 when I had my son's soul. So I got a son here, and I got my son's name in Korean. His mom is full Korean, and I'm a quarter Korean. My mom's half, so it's just,
Oh, you're part Korean.
nah,
So do you like your chicken Korean fried or Kentucky fried?
never Kentucky.
Oh,
Yeah, nah. I try to stay away from fried, period. But I'll do the Korean fried any day. Yeah.
So your wife is really a ride or die though, because she was really there with you when things were super low.
I'm talking.
Which wife?
What's the first thing?
The only one that matters.
My Shaggy.
What's the first great thing that you did for her and for your son?
The first thing I did, I got her a Chanel bag.
There we go.
The boy bag, the lap bag thing. You know, the Chanel.
You don't seem like you'd be married to somebody who'd be into that type of stuff.
It's a balance.
You just do
Yeah,
it
It's a
because you
balance.
can.
I don't care. I like thrift store shit, and she like.
Yes, because there's a big
fancy
stain
shit.
on your shirt that's been bothering me this whole
Where's
interview.
it at? Where's this
It's
thing,
right
nigga?
there. It's yellowish. I've been looking at it. I'm like,
nigga.
what
What
the
is
hell
that,
is
curry?
that?
That's a little bit of hash oil. That's all right. Nah. But no, that's just the balance. You know, it don't take
And
much.
it's also representative of this is the first time I've been able to get a Chanel bag, and
I'm sure she got a bunch of them now.
She like
I'm
that.
saying it's a representative of where you finally just things clicked.
Yeah,
after
for
all of this.
for Koreans, yeah, they like that. You know, you need
Love
some.
Chanel bag.
You gotta show love, you know. But no, we went to Paris. They was just out here in New York coming to the shows, and we've been going out. All we like, when you with somebody for like 7-8 years, all you do is eat food and watch movies, and maybe
sex.
you'll sometimes, yeah. So that's it, you know.
The good thing about
And watch
you,
your son. If you got a kid, you watch them. They got all the entertainment.
the good thing about you, though, the money probably won't ever change you because you've been through the real low extremes already, and you've lived life, and you're older, so
Yeah.
it probably not gonna make you go crazy.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
Did your mom think you were gonna blow up?
Yeah, she went through different times. Sometimes she say you should just get a job, and sometimes she just say, that's good. My mom was always really supportive. She got me my first MPC, and when I wanted to DJ and when I wanted drums, she was always like, go ahead, do it. So yeah, she may not have been like, you go and do it every time, but she was always supportive. And I think that was bigger than anything.
It's gonna be fun to watch you, man, because I can see you either like being like one of those real legendary musicians, or you might just go crazy.
Yeah.
Because you got a wool hat on in the middle of the summer. So I'm thinking it might be the
freezing in
crazy.
here,
I didn't
so
know it
I'm
was
not mentioning-
thunderstorming out of nowhere the other day, so I'm just like, I don't
Yeah.
know, man. I'm just trying to
That wool hat will protect you from
keep
the
it
versatile.
versatile.
Yeah.
You had to get on me. You was about to gassing me for a little bit, and
Yeah.
right. No, but you
Check me out.
said you about to be a legend.
No, I can
Yeah.
see that though. I do because you really care about the music.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, that's all. That's it. I love it. I love the music. I love y'all, and this is a pleasure being here,
Well,
man.
we appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
It's the Breakfast Club. It's Anderson .Paak.
If superior hair extensions, clip-ins, and tape-ins are an absolute must, you have to get the #1 rated hair extensions in the world. Her Imports is 100% certified real virgin human hair and trusted by celebrity stylists worldwide. Celebrities swear by our products, and now you can too. We now offer financing for our products at herimports.com for a limited time, or go into one of our convenient locations in your city. We offer 100% Indian temple bundles that will have you looking flawless for years. Visit us online right now at herimports.com.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in